Ryan Little.
Good evening, everybody. This is OG with Building Greatness. Here we are on our third week. And today I do not have a guest, but I'm going to run down a couple of pieces of information for people to get involved with. Also, I'm probably going to have some great callers calling in and, giving out some information, some productive information to help people build their greatness, whether it's building your business, whether it's building an organization, whether it's building your mind, your body, your soul. This is what building greatness is, a composition of mind, body, soul. And, one is in part of the other. So it's like a mechanisms of a car, a mechanism of any machine. It doesn't work by one principle alone or one structure alone. It's many components working together, and everything does its part. And that's how a machine works. Okay? So the same thing with building greatness. Now, if you're building a business, it's the same thing. You want to build a committee of people that can handle your affairs or work with you to build a greater business. And that means it's a team effort. Okay? And also it is a reciprocal effort. That means that what you put in, you would like to get out or more, maybe even profit. When you're building your mind, the same way. When you build your mind, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of information that you put in your head. There's a lot of things you read. But you have to figure out what things are important, which things are going to make your life functional when you put them in your head. Don't just put anything in your head. I hear a lot of people say, I read, I do this, but what are you putting in your head? Is it functional? Is it something that's going to push you forward? Is it something that's going to help you advance or progress your life or somebody else's? Not sure. But if you're building greatness, you're going to be building it here, right here on Genesis Radio. Between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., we are building all types of things. Now, I was going to have a guest today, so we're going to do that next week. Like I said, this week we're just going to have a little discussion. We're going to have a couple of call-ins. And so I'm just going to start off like this. Again, I want to break down because I want people to understand what Building Greatness is about. It is a progressive talk show talking about how to build, okay? How to build on either what we have already, build from scratch, the most important is building relationships with people. Now, I want to focus a little bit on that today because I think that's a very important component to anything. If you're building a team, you need people. If you're building your mind, you need information from other people. If you're building your body, you can't build it alone because you need somebody to push you to get you past that breaking point to make you grow better than what you were yesterday. So, in relationships, what we tend to think is that let's have relationships based on people who I'm comfortable with, or people who are in my circle, or people who understand what I know. It's not about that. When you're trying to build relationships and then you're trying to advance yourself, sometimes you're going to build relationships with people you don't quite understand, or you may not quite get along with. But the whole point is, do they have something in their arsenal that is helpful to you, and likewise to them? So you want to focus on what are the common grounds you have. What is it that's common between you? What brought you together? Whether it's a drink at the bar, whether it's working at the gym, whether it's at school, college, or on the street, or living in the same block. You want to focus on what is the common value of our relationship. And sometimes relationship doesn't necessarily mean somebody who you are friends with. Okay? Sometimes you have to be on a team where it's just a matter, are people functionally doing their part? Okay? So we have sometimes when we're building businesses and we tend to get in business relationships with people, we tend to say, oh, well, let's not mix business and friendship together. That's a very good thing. You don't. Because, when you're building a business, you have to look at the common goal and the future of your business, the progress of your business. Where is it going? And sometimes you may have somebody on your team that you're not quite cool with, but they get the job done. They are a good manager, they may be a good supervisor for your company, or they may be a good headhunter. You want to keep them in your pocket, not because you don't get along with them, because they do their part. They are a functional element in your relationship and building a business, okay? And again, we tend to always focus on whether you like somebody or not. That is not important to be successful. What's important is that you have a common ground. You use that common ground to create a functional motion forward or a functional building structure that builds on top, okay? We don't want to get into the habit of taking ourselves and saying, I want to be with someone, I don't like this person, and this person does this. You don't want to do that. You want to say, what do I have in common with this person? What are the commonalities? And sometimes it may be something as small as, we play cards, we both know how to play spades. You use that to make the bonding effort, even if it's to discuss business. Sometimes it's drinking. Some people, I don't drink, but some people go to the bar and they say, okay, let's drink and have a drink. And that's maybe a common ground for people to come together on where you could discuss further progress. Mine is more so working out and building, and building meaning conversation, building on my knowledge by sitting in a circle of people who are like me, meaning that we all like knowledge and building ourselves, but they may be more advanced than me. I don't mind being a follower when needed, but I'm definitely not a follower in general. But if somebody has a good plan that could get us forward or push a business plan forward, I'm always willing to follow for that moment to make it happen. Although I consider myself a leader, leaders also have to follow directions and follow their instinct and follow the progressive motion. And it doesn't always mean they're going to be on the front of that sword. They're not going to be the leading edge in that sword. So, when you build relationships, understand that it's the most important thing. What is the common progress? Even when a man and a woman come together and they're building a relationship, a lot of times people get together because, oh, I like this person, oh, they're cute, oh, I'm in love and all that stuff. And that's good and all. Don't get it wrong. That's good. But you want to know, is this person going to help you grow? Are you even interested in growing? Because one person may be growing, the other person may not be growing. So you want to get with somebody who has a progressive motion forward so that you can help each other grow. That is the most important relationship between a man and a woman, is growth. Not just having babies and putting rings on each other's fingers. You want to also know that that person is going to help you advance your thinking, advance your financial situation, but not take you down. Okay? And when we start to look at those things, we will have more successful relationships, we'll have more successful businesses, and we'll have more successful friendships because everybody knows their place, okay? And it's very, very important to understand that. And even when you do have friends, having friends doesn't necessarily mean having a friendship that we see and we hang each other out and we kick the ballistics every day. I know that's an old term, kicking the ballistics. People from that era know what it is. But sometimes you just get together and you kick it. And that's good and all. But also sometimes being a friend is just being there when somebody needs you. It's not always about, well, I feel like we should be doing things together all the time. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just that, listen, we have a common business. We have a common ground. We get together when we need to. I'm there. I got your back when you need me. And I hope you got my back when I need you. But it doesn't mean we hang out every day. I got plenty of friends that I don't see. I haven't seen it for years. But we are tight. And we got each other's backs in all cases, So I just want to let you know that's also part of the whole relationship building thing. Because that is the bottom line of any success story, is what type of, people call it a team. I call it a relationship, because the relationship creates the team. The team creates the journey, creates the active motions to progress forward. Everybody has their slot and performs their duty to make something functional and great. And I think you find that in sports, you find that in military training, you find that in even in fraternities, you find that even in gangs, like I don't, condone gangs or anything, but everybody has a place and a slot within whatever group they're in. And what makes it good or bad is what type of activities are they doing. So, in my life, in the last 20 years, I've worked with, young people on the streets. I've worked with fraternities. I've worked with people from different backgrounds in sports and entertainment. And what I notice is, especially when it comes to our young people, is that feeling part of something is very important. They all want to be part. Everybody wants to be part of something. Everybody wants to be recognized and feel, wanted and feel like they're useful to somebody. And so sometimes they get in the wrong type of relationships with people. Sometimes they get in the wrong type of groups that don't mean well. Doesn't mean that person doesn't mean well. It just means sometimes they get involved in a group that doesn't mean well. I'm not going to label all gangs as bad, because there's some people out here that consider themselves gay and are doing positive things like trying to build business. They don't want to be in the streets. They don't want to necessarily sell drugs or do anything like that. Sometimes they just want to get together and make money. And they just consider themselves, oh, we're going to call ourselves this set or whatever. We want to recognize that there are people out there. Not all gangs are bad, and not all gang members are bad. Sometimes it's just a matter of environmental situations, and sometimes it's a matter of opportunity, So, or sometimes family. Some people want to be loved or cared for, and the people that care for them are the people they see every day when they come out their house sitting on the stoop or on a corner. So, we want to look at the brighter side of things and not always knock everything we see, Same things happen with fraternities. So, sometimes you'll see people in fraternities, and before they're in a fraternity, they may not even talk. I don't like this one. As soon as they're in a fraternity, we brothers and sisters, Don't use the title of something to bring you together. Use the common nature that you are connected, and we're all connected on this planet. And the relationship should be planet-wide. But for now, we say, look, we got to start with the village that we live in. We got to start with the circles we already exist in. And that's where we start. And so if you want to have a successful relationship, including with if you want to have a successful relationship, when a man and woman want to have a successful relationship, I think they got to look at a new set of parameters, okay? And the parameters might be, where are you going in life? One person may say, I want to be an entrepreneur, and another person may say, I want to be a doctor or something like that. And knowing that those type of things may take a lot of time away from you both. And you may not have time to build your relationship. And you may have quirks and stuff in your relationship that you have to iron out that you may never get a chance to do because you're both so busy pursuing your careers. So, when you look at that, because I see relationships sometimes, it's like, how come you don't spend time? Well, I'm busy doing my thing. I don't really have time to sit around. Or the woman may say, look, I'm busy. I'm in school and then I'm working. I don't have time to really, sit down and, or you do your thing with the guys and I'll do my thing with the girls or whatever. We don't want that. We already know that men and women, women get along with women. They know each other, and men get along. We all know each other. But sometimes, it's good to experience what the other person is doing. Sometimes it's good to go to the shooting range with your husband your loved one once a week or once a month, so that you get to understand what they're doing and what their passion is. Or if that woman goes and gets her nails done or something like that, and it's all right for the man to go and maybe get pampered too a little bit, if you're a real man, you ain't gonna feel no ways. If you a man, there ain't no such thing as I'm trying to be a man or that's not manly. Either you a man or you not. Okay? No color makes you more manly. If you wear pink, so what? You know what I mean? If you a man, ain't nothing make you. You make yourself. So anyway, I'm not even going to that. But the whole point is that you want to also experience each other's, interest, so that you could help each other grow in those interests and not let the relationship, as we see many times in our society today and these days, that relationships normally grow apart. People grow apart because they have no interest together. They don't do anything together. They get into a routine of, I do this and you do that. And then nothing progresses. There's no elevation. There's no building on the relationship. It's just, I'm going to be the wife, you're going to be the husband, I'm going to be the boyfriend, you're going to be the girl, and then nothing happens. And then after a while, you grow apart, and then people start seeing other people and getting interested in other people, and it goes separately, and it goes away. Sometimes maybe people are just not made for each other. Maybe you just didn't make the right choice in the beginning, but you still have a vested duty to have a good relationship with that person while you're in it and help them grow. And until then, until you separate or depart or go your separate ways, it's just good to help each other grow, because it's an act that, it's a human act. It's an act that happens on this earth. You know, plants grow, you know, trees grow, you know, animals grow. Like, everything on the earth grows and changes, and humans feel like they just want to stay the same. You know, we got to join everything else on the planet and start growing, you know, expanding our minds into things that we never thought we would do. And trying new things. Be spontaneous. You know, don't always make a schedule for sometimes like, just be free. And, you know, take your girl, or, you know, your lady, y'all go out on the road and just drive and stop it and try new places and do new things, you know. The same if you're even in a fraternity or if you're in a group of people, try something you've never done before. Expand your horizon, and you'll realize that also builds a very strong bond. So, you know, experiencing new things together. So I just wanted to put that out there, and I'm going to talk more on it, but I want to just give a shout out to some great people who have been sponsoring my other program, Youth Voice Collective, that I produce. It's a great program on Saturdays between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. It's young folks doing their thing. You know, they have a foundation, they're doing great things, and they're getting some great support from some people that are close to me and have always been supportive of me. And I just want to give them a shout out. And I want to thank Cornelia Wright. I want to thank you for your constant support. Oh, there somebody goes now. Hold on a second. This is Building Greatness. This is OG. Who are you? May I help you? And where are you from?
Hi, OG. It's Cornelia from New Jersey.
I was just about to mention you, Miss Wright.
I just wanted to say to you, I'm tuned in. Mm-hmm. I always want to let you know that I'm tuned in. But what I wanted to say, when you were talking about building greatness and talking about relationships, and particularly when you mentioned maybe someone that you don't know, mm-hmm. that sometimes you connect with people that you don't know, and in getting to know that person, you wind up with a different perspective. You learn something. And I like the way that relates to building greatness.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody you meet is like a new seed, a new plant, a new tree. They're full of surprises and things that you would have never thought were possible. And I have to say, my progress forward in my life now is because of the fact that I've met several people in my life spontaneously that have become important instruments, pillars, and cornerstones in my life to this day, you know. So it's very important to go outside of your box and your comfort zone and say, listen, I want to, you know, stop and just say hello to somebody. Or, you know, if you're on social media and you got some common interest, you know, link up and talk, because I met some great people doing great things in social media, on the street, in transit. So it's very important, very, very important. So
yes, that's very true. And I once had an experience of someone that I knew, and in knowing that person and building greatness, they introduced me to someone that I came to know that wound up being one of my best friends, and secondly, had a great impact on my life. So every time we have an opportunity to meet another person and allow ourselves to be open, it's an opportunity for us to build towards our greatness, whatever that greatness is that we're reaching for.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's just very important to build, again, be open to new things, be open to new people, don't be fearful. Life is a risk, and this is one of the most important elements of being successful in life. This is one of the most important elements of building any great structure, is taking a risk. Even though people don't like to take risks, we take risks every day. When you step on the pedal in your car and you hit the street, how do you know the person in front of you is awake, or the person who's stopping at that light is actually going to stop? You know, if you ride public transportation, there's somebody who's the conductor of that train. How do you know they weren't drinking, or they on drugs, or they sleeping or something? You never know, you know? So we're taking risks every day. We assume that everything's going to go smoothly. But of course, my life has been full of surprises, and I know that could change at a moment's notice at any time. So by taking risks, you do greater things in life. You achieve greater things, because risk is the key to success, because you don't know whether you're going to win. I'm not saying gamble now, because some people will take gambling and use it as risk. No, gambling is cool. Like, you can make money off of gambling and everything, but risk is so much deeper because it's cerebral. You right. Do it.
Right.
Right. There's a possibility. You sometimes you take risks and there's a possibility. There's a stronger possibility you may lose.
Right. I like taking risks because I believe that it takes you where you need to be. There might be some steps, like you said. You may have some pitfalls along the way, or you didn't have all the information. But eventually, I think it leads you to where you need to be.
Right. Exactly. And it takes you, even if say you're looking for a job, right? And say you go for a job interview or something like that. A lot of people say, oh, I don't know if I'm qualified for the job. I don't know if I'm, if they're going to like me. Oh, it's above. Take the risk and just go for it and just see what happens. And most of the time when you take a risk, if you have the right recruiter or the right interviewer friend, they're going to see that you're a risk taker and you're ambitious and charismatic, and they're going to use that. They're going to say that's a valuable element we need on our team to help grow our business. A risk taker. Now, they may not know the components of the job, they may not even have the background, but the fact that they have charisma, the fact that they took a risk, is what any business that wants to be successful is looking for. Somebody who's going to push it over the 100%. You know what I'm saying? Put the pedal to the metal, even though there's a cliff in front of you. You got to believe you can fly. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I thank you very much, and you have another call coming in. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Wright. We'll be talking soon again, okay? I'm going to finish giving shout-outs, but I just want to thank you again for calling in, okay?
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye. So back to what I was saying, that's another person who I wanted to say is a great asset to both of my programs, because they always call in, they always participate, because people always ask, like, what could I do to help? And sometimes, like I said, sometimes monetarily is not always useful for people, but I say, look, call in. Call in and let me know what it is that's important to you when it comes to building. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and complain and talk about no BS, but I will talk about real functionable issues, things that could help us grow. So when Ms. Wright calls in, she's also a monetary donator. And I want to thank her and Mr. Rue Wright. I want to thank Odette Russell and the SWAM. I just want to say the SWAM Academy of Martial Arts. They are monetary supporters and also supporters in other ways. I want to thank Eric Beckles and Anthea Beckles for their monetary support and being sponsors and donating. I really appreciate that, because that helps keep our program going. It helps keep Genesis lights on. It helps keep everything going in here. And this is what we need, okay? Again, if you don't have the money, I understand. But call in. Take part, I have a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of people I'm connected to. I'm grateful to have my life, and they know what I'm doing. And I would like them to take part. I would like them to donate their time, donate an idea, or come through and understand, like, this is something greater than me. Building greatness is not about OG. Building greatness is about a village mentality for us to be successful. The Youth Voice Collective is important, because it's about young people having a voice that allows them to it's a voice that allows them to speak about the things that are important to them, because it seems like our society does not listen to young people as much as they should, and they're going to inherit everything we do. So it's good to keep them in the process and keep them grounded and rooted in what happens, the results of the process, whether it's our economic future, whether it's our environmental future, whether it's our political future. They have to be involved. And Youth Voice Collective on Genesis Radio is one of those important things that are going to grow. It's going to grow. And I want people to, do what they can to support these young people and help them be all they can be. This is a grand opportunity to be an investor, not in the stock market, but in real human people that you can take part in. It's a dime, it's a nickel, it doesn't matter. Even if you donate $1 to the state, it's fine. And nobody's asked for an amount, but donate something. Be part of the progress that's about to change your world. Because if you don't, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to find yourself on the tail end and wonder, how did you get there? And how are they up there? It's because you didn't take part in the progress. So I encourage people to support young people in what they do and expand Youth Voice Collective to every state, every country that we know of, because there will be somebody there who will be a Youth Voice Collective representative. But back to building greatness. So I want to thank all my sponsors and let you know I appreciate you. I want to let you know all the people who come through, Kristen Grandos from Hybrid, MMA 570, for all the great young people you have brought to the table and for your behind-the-scenes support. I want to thank Kevin and his wife Michelle for, having their young son here who is a very inspiring young person for young people, and there's a lot of feedback from him being here. I want to thank, Beats Bars and Culture for coming in, and I want to thank Gravel Understanding for coming in and also being a great contributor to the Youth Voice Collective. I want to thank Lamont, even though he's not on social media, because he normally comes in on Tuesdays, and he's kind of like a co-host too. I want to thank him for his input and support. I don't mind taking the time out to thank my support. A lot of people, some person told me at some point that they feel like I'm pandering. Now everybody who knows me know I don't pander to nobody, but I do appreciate the people in the circle, and I got to give them shout outs because those are the people who are helping it go forward. So I don't mind taking 30 minutes, 45 minutes to say thank you. Ain't nobody pandering here. It's just being grateful for what we have. And a lot of people have forgotten that in this world, is to be grateful and say thank you for the people who have supported you in many ways. And that happens with friends of mine. Sometimes there's people that I'm close to, even family. They don't realize that, they don't realize the times I do support them. And then when I need their support, I don't hear nothing. So, I'm talking to you out there. You know who I'm talking to. And if you want to be involved, we're still here. We're still available and still open. But anyway, so I just wanted to thank everybody right now. I want to get over the thanking part because we've done that. And there's a lot more people to thank. I want to thank Onisha Love, Chisholm Jerry, Lady Sensi, Awaken Flower for her donation, Lisa Heron, and a couple other people out there. I'm giving shout outs, Edmund Dorso, Lisa. There's just so many people. I just don't want to sit here and just go over the things. We'll just call them out as we go. So again, building leadership and building greatness is all in the same package. You need the tools are your relationships that you have with people. And we got to always focus on that, building those relationships as much as we can. Because we have a lot of stuff ahead of us, especially the way the world we see is going. We're going to bond together. This is a good thing. I know a lot of people looking around saying, oh my God, what's happening? All this crazy stuff going on and the type of politics that are going on. But no, this is a wake-up call. It's a gift to us. It's going to force us to do what we got to do. Because if you don't, then you already know what the outcome is. It's only black and white. You live or die. So this is a great opportunity for us to show how powerful, not to ask somebody for more. Oh, what is somebody going to do for us? No, nobody's going to do nothing for us. We got to do it ourselves. Okay? Who's going to educate you? Because the education system, stop there. We got to educate ourselves. Obviously, there are issues there that need to be ironed out, and we have to be the representatives to make that happen. So, so these are the things we want to stay focused on is, building our relationships, building our assets and the type of things we need to survive in the new world that's coming. Be self-sufficient, self-sustaining. Your mind is going to be your best tool. Being versatile, being able to adapt to change very quickly. Using your assets, meaning human resources. There are people around you that are resources. And these resources have different set of skills that you could put together and combine to accomplish certain tasks, okay? These are some of the leadership courses I used to do as well, is when you bring people together to perform a task, they think, I can do it by myself, but no, everybody is a mechanism. Everybody is a part of that same machine, and when you put that machine together and you tune it up, now you have a fine-tuned machine that could help you overcome obstacles. We also have in the studio today, we have Cal, and we have Cal Stewart from The Grind, and we have Karen Curry up here. We have Dutchie right here, behind the scenes making it happen. I'm so grateful to have them always, around. It's like having a big family here that support in everything we do, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to support them as well. So, that's what that's what I wanted to say to you. I want to focus on the relationships we have, and because, again, that's one of the most important elements in going forward today. And that doesn't mean, like I said, just one, your relationship between you and your woman or your woman and your man. Like, it's not about just that. It's a bigger scheme of things going on. And I hope we learn to start working together and get over our differences, because we have so much to do. And our youth are relying on us. They are relying. They are saying, what are you doing? Okay? When we said the youth have gone wild and they lost their minds, they didn't do it by themselves. Okay? We have a big part in that. And that means it doesn't mean we did anything wrong. It just means we could do better. And by doing better means we're just going to be more active. We're going to take part more. We're going to be more conscious of what's going on in our communities. If there are things that need to be done, we're going to do them. We're not going to ask who's going to do them. We're going to do them ourselves. And we're going to make sure, even if we can't do them, we're going to find the resources to make that happen. Okay? It's just like when we have this platform, Genesis Radio, like we have now, this is the tool that helps us reach out to say, maybe we do need things to start coming to East Stroudsburg. We need to start magnetizing our young people here, our geniuses, all the people who are going to ESU, all the people who are going to Northampton, and even other colleges in other states. We need to create a market for them here. And I think by having Genesis Radio, we're going to bring this up a lot, because we can do this. I know that there's a lot of politics involved. I know people tell me all the time, oh, it's been like this for 30 years. Look, I'm all good with that, but I'm not one of those people that rely on what has been. I'm a risk taker. And I'm going to say I'm doing it, I fight. When I fight to my knuckle, to there's bones on the knuckle. You can see the bones in my knuckles, because that's how I get down. So you're not going to tell me it didn't work before, so don't try it. We're going to try it. We're going to create an avenue by creating, first of all, a media presence that young people could get involved with. From that media presence, which is Genesis Radio, we have a platform that we can rock off of there, where we can actually go out into the community and help other people get things done. We need after-school programs here, so there's a lot of parents here that work in the city, okay, and their kids come home by themselves. Why, after all these years? These are the money makers. These are the people who bring money to East Stroudsburg, to Monroe County. Bring the money from the city. They work hard in the city, and they bring it here, and they spend it on their mortgage, they spend it on their taxes, they spend it on school taxes, and then they have no say-so. They don't have a voice. And I was speaking with somebody earlier today about that voice that they need. Since they're out there working in the city and got to come here, and their kids are here, these are not bad kids who have nothing to do. They need direction, they need something to do. And there are multiple things that we can do that I'm sure there's money for. There's a lot of grants out here for them. We just have to find the right people who's going to look up those grants or write the proposals. I just got the idea. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I just know that if we had clubs, what we call small clubs, technology clubs, building clubs, social clubs, where kids get a chance to explore what it is they're good at. Sometimes it's not just about basketball and football. It's just not. Again, we flooded that market for the last 60 years. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying that we just need a broader spectrum, because it's a small amount of young people who get into those arenas of the NFL and the NBA. Very small. Even in the hip-hop industry, very tiny, okay? There's not many people even there's not many young people even run the hip-hop industry. We don't have people who are growing up saying, look, I want to know what it's like to manage and run a production company that pumps records out there. You know, it's always we want to get behind a mic and rhyme. How about run the industry? How about owning a basketball and football team? How about designing the next car? How about designing the next cell phone that comes out? That's up to us. And we could always start by grooming young people, by having clubs that, so when they get out of school and their parents work in the city, they're not just going to hang out in the street. They're not just going home, sitting down, watching TV. There is a center where they go to where there are computers available, where they can explore. There are tutors from ESU and other colleges that donate their time and say, look, I'm going to come here and show them what it's like to create the graphics, the background graphics for a TV show or for a program or something like that. Just give them the tools and then see where they go from there, you know, because there's a lot that can happen. When you look at just the gym, Hybrid MMA 570, when you look at that gym and you say, wow, this is just an MMA gym and they're producing geniuses out of here. These kids are not just boxers, wrestlers, and MMA. These are people who are photographers, they're actors and actresses. They do other things. We need a photography club. We need these type of things. We need an actors venue where they could create their own commercials and their own TV shows. We need committees of young people to come together and create little political things where they can start to learn the process of voting, the process of choosing what type of politicians they want to represent them or what type of politicians they want to be, okay? So we want to encourage these things, and we have all these empty buildings, all these empty foreclosed houses out here. I'm sure that one of them can be converted in every community into something like that, at least a start. And again, I'm not saying I have the answers. What I'm saying is I have a solution by state, and I have an idea. And that idea takes a risk. And we do need people to write proposals. So if you're a proposal writer, call in. Call in now. 888-304-4401. If you know how to write a proposal, if you know the people we could talk to get something like that going, call in. Okay? It doesn't have to be monetary. Point us in the right direction so we can continue on this journey of building greatness in our young people and in ourselves. Adults, take your stand. Okay? Every Sunday we'll get the chicken wings, we'll get the beer, and we'll go run for the NBA and the NFL and sit down and say, oh, I'm watching a game. Again, I have nothing against that, but come on, we got to use that same energy for our young people. We can't just watch. See, I'm not a spectator. I don't sit and watch things. I take part in life, you know. I'm not going to sit on the bleachers and go yay and watch. No, I got to be in the field doing it. I got to get dirty, grimed up, busted up, and stitched up. I like to do that, okay? And there are some people who like to sit on the bleachers, but if you're sitting on the bleachers, say hooray. You know what I'm saying? Like, be a cheerleader, something, but don't just sit and watch life. Let's take part, you know, and let's take an interest in where our future's going. The very fact that our political conditions are going the way they are is because of us. We got caught slipping. We let the ball go. We can't blame nobody else. Who are you going to blame? You know? There are things we could have done. We could have become an innovative society. We don't have to look for jobs. I'm not saying a job is not good. What I'm saying is that the type of society we are becoming is an innovative society, entrepreneurial society, a mover and maker society. Okay? We got machines that do that stuff now. We can't compete with machines. And we can't compete with somebody who's desperate for money who will work for $3 an hour either. So sometimes now we are moving into the stage, the human evolution of becoming movers and makers. That means we got to start innovating our society to produce things that can make us grow as a civilization, you know. And that may mean like, work is always there. We're going to always have to work. But looking for a job and saying that our future, we're going to give up our rights. We're going to give up everything we have for a job that ain't going to pay you anyway. It's just going to keep you in debt. But we could transform the society we live in to say, no, like this is like we got free energy. There is free energy out here. But little do people know. You know, there's solar power, there's wind power, there's hydropower. These things need to be explored and advanced so we can break loose from the grips of coal and all of this fossil fuel and stuff that just is no good at all. It's not going to help us reach the stars. You could take all the gas and all the fossil fuel in the world, put it in a rocket ship. We won't even get to the closest planet to us. We can't, because it just is not possible. We need to advance the way we think. And we need to evolve as human beings to the next level of wherever we're going to be. Or we're just going to get run over by the things of society itself. We are going to get run over by movers and makers and innovators, steamrolled. So let's focus more on, yes, we need to pay our bills. We all need to have jobs. But we also need to look forward, start preparing our kids to be innovators and entrepreneurs so they could run things. They can make things happen. They don't got to ask nobody for anything. They're coming to the table, bringing their piece by saying, this is what we have, okay? So that next car that comes out, when you're sitting on 22s, let's just say that, those 22s are made by somebody who used to, you know, is a young person from a community who now runs a company who makes rims, you know? Or it's not Pirelli, whoever that is. I know I may be saying it wrong because I'm not really all into that superficial stuff, but they ain't sitting on Pirellis. You may be sitting on some Shamars or some Omars. You know what I mean? You know, the next cell phone you get may be a Shaniqua or whatever. It may not be an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's designed by a young person who had the ambition and the dream to develop something. And they had the tools because we provided the tools for them to do it. So this is what I'm talking about. We have so much to advance, so much to do. And we need to start, and this is where it's happening, you know. We're doing it right here on Genesis Radio. It's happening. You know, when you look at the programs we have, when you look at the things we're doing, the type of people we're attracting is progressive, you know. And we have to continue that, but it has to spread out into the community. Community got to take part, okay? You have to listen to our radio program and see, because there's such a wide variety of things we're offering. And sometimes just upliftment, sometimes just making you laugh, because laughter itself will help you heal. So, you know, help you think straight, because it's like a stress reliever, you know. But we're not talking about garbage. You know, we're not doing nothing that's unproductive. We're very productive family here. And I want everybody to get involved. I want you to donate to the radio station. I want you to donate your mind by calling in. You know, if you're here, don't call. 888-304-4401. I'm listening and I'm waiting. Who's going to be that? Who's going to open up their voice and share what they have in their head? You know, I'm here and I'm always waiting. What about you, Cal? What you think?
I'm just phenomenally amazed and feeling. I'm amazed and blessed just the conversation and people. We can't complain about change if we don't work to make one. So you can't complain. And this is, as OG said, this is very true. If you want to change, you got to make a change. You put it on yourself. Because I'm ready to buy sit on some Akeems and some driving a brand new Akeem, talking on my Shaniqua phone. I'm ready to do that.
Right.
And I will support it 1,000%. Because if we don't work to make it happen, it's not going to happen. And that's how you build greatness.
Yo, you hear that, right? That's what that's about. That's exactly what it's about. Is when we call for change. See, the last couple of years we were like, we want change, and ain't nobody, and they wanted one man. You know what I'm saying? They said one man is going to do the change for you. Oh, he didn't do nothing for us. Who is going to do something for you if you're not going to do it for yourself? Ain't nobody going to be president or going to go into political and do anything for you if you're not willing to do something for yourself. You got to be changed, you know? So don't, you know, when people come to me like, this person didn't do nothing for me, and now we got somebody else, they're like, oh, this person we don't like. Look, man, get real, okay? If you got something to do, take part and do it. That's what I do. And I've always been like that. My track record is solid. Any place I've been, Brooklyn, Jersey City, down south, Florida, Chicago, you name it, I'm always involved in my community, no matter where I'm at, okay? Jersey, you know it, everywhere, you know? That's what I do. When I see something that's happening that needs to be done, now look, I know I can't do it all, but when I see something that needs to be done, I go out there and I do it. And I don't ask for nobody who's going to do it. Who's going to get that young guy up to shoot? Who's going to talk to these people and tell them to stop shooting on them? That's me. I'll go out there and tell them. You know what I mean? It may mean my life sometime, but guess what? I've taken that risk before. And guess what? It's gotten me respect, and it's got me to help solve issues in my community because I'm willing to do what it takes. You know, And I want to continue that. Of course, I don't want to be shot or nothing like that, but, you know, but you know what I'm saying, Cal, right? You know, like.
Definitely so.
Yeah, we got to be the change. We got to, you know, and it's not about us. When you think about, I don't want nothing to happen to me. Look, something going to happen to you one day. Your heart going to stop. You're going to stop breathing. It's just going to happen. It's part of life. That's the only promise in the world that is true. That is the only thing you truly married to is death. It's going to happen. I don't really call it death. I call it transformation. But, you know, I got to speak the language of the people who understand. Okay? So we're going to all go. But why don't you just go with honor, you know? Do what you got to do, you know, and save yourself, okay? You know, even in religion, when people are like, oh, we need, no. Don't do that to my man, Yahshua, Jesus. Don't do that to him. He put in his work. You come back and do your own work and save yourself. You know, don't wait till Sunday. Do it every day. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait and say, oh, I'm going to wait. No. Every day, every time, every moment you get, make it happen. Okay? Now, I know it's a little harsh. I'm going, oh boy, I don't like to talk about religion or politics, but listen, I know that's just the big talk of the day, and so I got to put my input. I don't believe in none of that stuff. I just believe in doing what we got to do. So I just ask you, please take part in our transformation of our society. Nobody's going to do it for us. There's no politician that's going to make a change. The thing we have now that's going on is a test of our this is a test of our civilization right now. What we going to do? We're going to sit here and cry about it, or we're going to get up and do something about it. And doing something doesn't mean, you know, oh, I'm going to sit here and yell and scream. Doing something means, all right, I'm going to have to change the way I spend my money. I'm going to have to change the way I do my time. I'm going to have to get rid of some unproductive friends and unproductive people around me and start to associate myself with people who are about something, okay? And that's where it starts. That's why I'm around Cal. That's why I'm around Karen Curry. That's why I'm Dutch. Because they making it happen. They doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, and Terry out there, I know you out there, TP Square. Big ups to you, brother. You know, knight in shining armor, man. You know, for a lot of us, man, I'm grateful for you. You know, I just thank you so much. Deborah Carfer with Sister Chat. Rodney with No Excuses. I see you out there, you know. And let's all start sharing each other's stuff so that we get the word out, that everybody knows that, look, we're a family here, you know, because I'm going to make sure I look out for my family. I love them, you know, and I love all my supporters out there, too. I just want to thank you for tuning in. Today was a little bit, I'm shooting from the hip, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's just who I am. You know, I don't really, sometimes I don't come with no script or anything or no particular agenda. It's just I know there's something on my mind that I need to discuss. And I want to share it with my family and the audience and get their feedback. So I'm grateful for the people who did tune in. I'm grateful for Miss Cornelia Wright for calling in. Odette Russell, thank you for all your support in the Swam Academy. Thank you, Chisholm Jerry. Thank you, Anthea and Eric Beckles. Thank you so much for all that you do, okay? And I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Okay, so we're coming around the hour where it's time for me to kind of, it went so quick, oh my God. Time just never seems to get, you know, goodness gracious. But it's okay, because we're making a difference, right? Right? We're making a difference, everything we do.
Building greatness.
Building greatness, one brick at a time, you know. That's it. The brick and mortar is our passion. That's the mortar, you know. And our leveler and our balance is our character and what we are. And, you know, we're measured by what we do and our effectiveness. So let's keep building this structure, you know. This foundation's there. And foundation is the foundation, is knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. And we all know where that comes from, you know. So peace to all the G-bodies out there and the earths. You know, because that's where my foundation was from, you know, so I always and forever will be part of that in my mind and my heart, you know. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We got like a few more minutes, so I just want to, you know, kick it with you. If anybody wants to call in, 888-304-4401. That is 888-304-4401. You call in, got a shout out, you want to say something. Hey, Cooley, how you doing? Solomon, I see you up there. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook Live. And I want to thank all the people behind the scenes who don't get shout-outs, because I can't for some reason, tell them, but they're good supporters and strengths for me, They know what they're doing. Sometimes we do things and we don't necessarily want to be known. We just want to do it because we know it means well and we have to do it. So there are supporters out there that are like that. They don't want to be known. They don't want their name blown up out there, but they're supporting in one way or another. So just want to thank Genesis Radio. I want to thank, again, Deborah Carfer, Sarah Katz, Daisy Diaz, Lamont, for, Sister Chat, because that's how I got in here, and all the great people. So I just want to say thank you. And next week we will have a guest. We'll have a special guest. And I want everybody to tune in because it's going to be live next week. You hear me? It's going to be live. We'll have a great guest here that everybody's going to appreciate. And we're going to be talking about some things. I'm looking forward to people calling in. And, hey, Nyla, I'm looking forward to people tuning in to Youth Voice Collective, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., doing big things. With Israel, Naima, and Nyla, doing great things, I want to thank y'all for all your support, too, all the parents that are supporting us. Thank you. Okay? All right. I want to thank Jennifer Kelly for helping out on the behind the scenes as well. She's been a very big help, I want to thank, there's just so many people. I mean, I just could go down the line, but as I think of them, I'll just keep shouting them out, And there's a little girl named Amaya out there. I want to thank you for being so patient. Your day is coming, Amaya. You know what I mean? And I want to say what's up to Darrell Akins. I want to say what's up to some family. I want to say what's up to Ashton. I want to say what's up to Cousin Bonnie, a real life girl, Alicia Shante, all the people out there that I know are supporting me. They're just so far away they can't really do what they want to do, but they're there. So I don't know how many minutes I have left. So I'm just,
you got it wrap.
Yeah. All right. So I'm wrapping it up. Thanks again for tuning in to Building Greatness. We will be back next week with some great hot topics and a great person that's going to be on. Okay? Thank you. Over and out. This is OG. Peace.